Hey everybody, Cathy McLeish, and I'm back here to talk about alcoholism, recovery, and everything in between. I have over 30 years sobriety, and really that's not the point. The point is this is a new year, and we're going to have to address that because when it comes to a new year, if you've ever been involved in recovery, in programs, in the treatment centers, you know that there is a burst of people that want to do something different when it is a new year. And I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about just the average person in their daily life. They just don't do well with New Year's resolutions. It is kind of like a mind game in that I want to change these things, I want to do this stuff, and I'm going to start at January 1st, and I'm going to make a go of it, and this is a great time to reinvent myself. Well, I have a sobriety date, and it is March 25th. March 25th means absolutely nothing to me other than the fact that it is now my sobriety date, and so it is very important. But up until then, it was just another day in the life of an alcoholic that needed to stop drinking. So my husband's sobriety date, January 7th, just another day in the life of a guy that needed to stop drinking and stop doing drugs. So, is it going to be January 1st? Probably not. I've been in recovery a long time and I've heard a lot of sobriety dates. Very few of them are January 1st. They could be January 2nd. They could be March 25th. The important thing is that two things happen and they align. And this is what I want you to hear in this message. One, the person that has a desire to stop drinking, maybe you don't even have a desire. I did not want to stop drinking. What I wanted is all the crap in my life to straighten out so that I could drink normally. And that wasn't going to happen for this person because she had crossed the line into alcoholic drinking. I had crossed the line so that I craved alcohol. I had an allergy in my body, and my mind wasn't going to help me with that. And every time I put alcohol in this body, I had to have more. I had to have more. I couldn't tell you what was going to happen. I couldn't tell you if I was going to stop. And that was the line that I crossed that said, I'm never going to be a normal drinker. It doesn't matter how my life problems pan out. So the first thing that had to happen for me is I had to admit that I wasn't going to be able to do anything about it by myself. How many New Year's had I tried to stop? How many different occasions had something horrible happen and I thought, this is it. This is the bottom line. I'm not going any further down. And there were dozens and dozens. And I still the next day, because I had no support system, I had no new plan in place, no new tools, I did the same thing over and over again. Now, is that because I am a sick, crazy person? Maybe just a little bit. But mostly it is because I've crossed that line, and it is the most normal thing for me to do is to take a drink, especially when life is coming at me and I don't really know what to do with it. And an alcoholic, a person that is drinking, excuse me, to this extent, we'll drink when we're happy, we'll drink when we're sad, we'll drink when we're afraid, we will drink when we're nervous about a new thing happening, even if it's something good. So we don't really need a slump to get drunk. We could have any kind of emotion coming at us, and that is how we might deal with it. So I had to get to a point where I could look back on my past, I could look back on all the different things that had happened, that I could say, I wanted to stop then. Oh, I've done this 5 years in a row on January 1st. Oh, I have lost this many relationships. Oh, this is, a marriage I wanted to work and it did not because of me. I have to go back and look at some of this stuff and admit to myself that I have tried and I can't do it. And for alcoholics, that is so humbling, but does it need to be? I mean, you have never looked at anybody that had cancer that couldn't treat it by themselves and thought they were a loser. That's maybe a horrible example, but alcoholism is a disease and we cannot overcome it alone by ourselves. Now, you might say, there was a guy that drank like that, just like she's talking about, and he quit, and he didn't do anything, he didn't go anywhere, he didn't get any help, he just quit. And I want to say, how do you like that guy? How is that guy doing life? because every once in a while somebody will do that and they will put things in place. Maybe it's a support system through church or work or something, a group of men, a group of women, and they will do well. But for the most part, anybody that has a drinking problem like I'm talking about, that quits through cold turkey, just gritting their teeth, is somebody you just don't even want to be around. They don't really change their thinking. They don't really change how they do things. They don't really look at themselves. They don't mend relationships because they don't know how. And it's like, without someone helping me to reframe my life and understand why drinking was my answer, I'm not going to be that much of a different person than I was before when I was drinking. There can also be a lot of people that, maybe even kind of delve into a program but don't really do the work. So different programs that you've heard about or seen people that said they went to them get a bad rap because the person went to that program, professed that they were in that program, but didn't do the work that was outlined in that program so that they could kind of tear down and rebuild and be a person that could live life and be an asset to the people that were in their life. And I'm not trying to pass judgment on anybody. I'm trying to clarify that there is a process that we have to do so that drinking is not our answer. That is why there's so many people. I'm going to tell you, I spent yesterday, and it was not my initiative, I spent yesterday a couple hours, maybe 3, at the Salvation Army. And it was a New Year's Eve party for 60 guys that are living in this building for 6 months, for 12 months, trying to get their life in order. They're either recovering alcoholics, recovering drug addicts, both, or homeless. And so it was a group of the people that we kind of think about when we think about alcoholism. But you know what? You could have somebody that looks just like me that is struggling with alcoholism every day. And you can have somebody sitting next to you in your work office or at the school you teach at or in the nursing station at the 7th floor of this hospital. You can have anybody in any walk of life. I was a stay-home mom, drinking all day long, working from home. You can have anybody from any walk of life that has this problem that is powerless. They don't have to look like the guys that we picture in our head. The 60 guys that I was with yesterday that just, were a joy to be with, but have a real long, rocky road ahead. So let's talk about that road. Let's talk about, we know wherever we are, in whatever walk of life we're in, that alcohol has become a problem. We know that we've tried on different occasions to quit, more occasions than most people in our life know about, and we've been unsuccessful. Maybe we even went into treatment a couple times, and our family was like, gosh, this is gonna be different. He's so great, he's doing so good. And then we went back to our old ways. Maybe we have tried and failed a number of ways, and we have a group of people that know about it, and maybe not. Maybe we're walking this walk alone and we are so isolated that nobody even really knows our struggle. Or you're like me and you hid a lot of your drinking behind other people. Maybe your situation is any of the ones that I've mentioned, but you're ready to do something different. So you're gonna have to find new tools. You're gonna have to find a support system. The most successful things that people do, they do in some kind of a group. And that doesn't mean you have to buddy up with people 24/7. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means you need someplace to go where people speak your language, where when you say what you did that you have a little bit of shame and regret about, everybody isn't like, looking at you like you have 5 eyes. You need to feel comfortable in a group of people saying what is on your heart, what is in your mind, without thinking everybody is going to judge you. And that is what a support system does. You can be who you are, struggling with what you're struggling with, and other people will say, I've been there. I understand that. This is what I did. There's hope for you. You're not crazy. It's the most natural place for you to be in when you're drinking like you're drinking. There is hope. That's the place that you need to be in. Not by yourself thinking, is this gonna work? Is this not gonna work? I'm sober, but I hate being sober. This is horrible. No. Now, I will say The second part. First is I can't do it by myself. It's okay. I can't. I failed enough times that I'm going to start this out. I'm going to do it different. I'm going to get some different tools. Then when you get there, the thing is, you got to use the tools. You got to do what it takes. Because you can come, you can say, I did that thing she was talking about. I admitted that I couldn't do it by myself. But then you go and you sit in a room and you hear what it takes. You're in that rehab facility and they're saying what it takes. And you're thinking, I might take that for you, but it's not going to take that for me. You might need that, but I am not going to do that. That is so, that sounds so unnatural to me. I don't talk that way. I don't walk that way. I'm not doing this journey with you guys. You've got to go into this, whatever you choose, into this program, into this facility, and you've got to say, I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm going to follow direction. I'm not going to second guess everything. I'm going to do what they tell me. I'm not going to try and reinvent the wheel. I am going to follow what has worked for other people that have done this before me. That's what you got to do. And that is next to impossible for an alcoholic because we are our worst enemy. That's what I was. I was my worst enemy. And when I sat in those rooms, when I sat in a group of people that were living a life I wanted to live, but not drinking, I'm thinking, how can I have this life and still drink? Could I just drink less than them? How can I do this and not have her life? How can I just take the good stuff and still have what I want? And the thing is, I couldn't. But here's the good news. The good news is I didn't realize how much good was going to come into my life and how little I was going to have to give up to get it. Now, alcohol was everything to me at the time. So when I say little, I mean little, but it was a lot. But when I put it down, I didn't realize how much of a problem it was in my whole life of problems. It was kind of at the bottom. It was kind of a foundational problem that all my other problems sprung up from. And when you realize that one truth, that alcohol is more the problem than it is the solution, then it's like the whole world opens up for the alcoholic in recovery. It is doable. It is doable with direction, with tools, with some kind of a foundation of other people and their strength that went before you, so that somebody is telling us how to do something a different way than we've tried. My husband will be like, to this day, I will do something and I will try the same thing over and over again, thinking, I can make this work. I can make this work if I just try. And my husband will walk into the room and he'll say, like, how's that working for you? How's that working for you? And usually the answer is, it's not. It's not. I may want to cuss him out. I may want to slam something. I may want to still work at it, thinking I can make it work and I will prove to him that it will work. But the bottom line is, it's not working. I need to do something different. And so I come into this atmosphere where people know my answer, and I need that answer. And I think, yeah, but I can twist your answer. I can manipulate your answer. I can massage your answer into being something I want it to be, when really, I just need to pick up the answer and move forward. The answer is my answer. Their answer is my answer. And it is at my fingertips. And I can have that life and I can live it the way that I want to live it. So maybe, I'm looking at other people's lives and it seems like, well, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to have that. I wouldn't want that to be enough. Hey, I can reframe my life however I want, clean and sober. I can, go back to school. I can get a different job. I can move to a different state. I can do whatever I want with my new life. But you know what? If I don't do anything different, my old life is the new life, only it gets worse. So there's nothing really new about it, other than the fact that I'm going to explore some more disgusting, humiliating, torturous, sad things than I already have with my drinking. And it may sound like I'm blowing things out of proportion. Maybe you're a person that just thinks drinking is a problem, but should I quit? Should I not quit? You know what I'd say? I'd say, dang, give it a try. I have worked with young women that have come in. My husband has worked with young men that have come in, and they have come in before they lost everything, when they just thought maybe drinking was a problem, that they had to drink every night after work, that they had to drink and they're getting in trouble at home, that they had to drink and they're spending money they really don't have on alcohol. And they stopped and they did something different, and their life was better than our life 10 years earlier. So why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to have what you can have in your life today at whatever age you are, instead of spending another 5 New Years trying to see if you can stop on January 1st? So the first thing is, I've tried, and I really can't do it by myself. I think I need some direction. I think I need some support. And you know what? If you're like me, you don't want any part of that. But you go in and you get this group of people to help you, to walk with you, however you choose to bring that into your life. You get a group of people that are already doing what you need to do. And before long, it's like you can't imagine having done it any other way. And you actually like the people, and you actually are learning from the people, and your life is improving because of the people and the journey. And so you look back and you think, God, I really didn't want to do this. Thank goodness I didn't cheat myself from doing this, because everything that I have today, I'd have talked myself out of. Everything that I did in recovery, I would have tell myself I didn't need to do it. And I didn't do it until the pain got worse, and the pain got worse, and the problems got bigger, and the problems got bigger. And then I did it. So why not put this alcoholic, this crazy thinking on a back burner and just go forward with somebody else's idea? That's what I want for people in the new year. That's what I want for people whenever they say they have had enough. I want them to know that just by saying, I don't know how to do this, I better figure something else out, and then going into that environment and saying, I don't like anything you're suggesting, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it for 30 days, 90 days. I'm gonna try it till June 1st. And I'm gonna see what kind of difference it makes in my life. And I think I'm gonna prove you guys wrong. But I'll tell you what, things aren't going so great for me over here. So I'm gonna try it. That's what I want for people that are on the fence. I want them to come back and say, you know what? I'm 2 months sober and I can't believe the change. I'm 60 days sober and I can't believe how good I feel. I'm 30 days sober and my life has changed in this area, in this area, in this area. And I'm not saying you won't have some rough times. There are hard times to go through. There is a lot of change and a lot of it is uncomfortable. But I'll tell you what, everything I did that was uncomfortable, that was hard. On the other side of it, I gained 10 times whatever I struggled with to get there. 10 times at least. And I've never stopped. And you know, when somebody has kept doing something for a long period of time and they're still smiling when they tell you about it, they got something going that you might want to check out, because it's a good life. It is a good life. And if you can't look in the mirror on January 1st, 2nd, 3rd and say, I want to live this year just like I did last year, then maybe it's time for change. Maybe it's time to say, I think I need some new tools. I think I need some new ideas. I think I need to try something different in 2024. So good luck, but again, luck isn't going to do it. You're going to have to try something different. But I would challenge you today to make a phone call, to watch another couple of videos, to see, write down, just make an X every time you hear a truth and you're like, oh, I can relate to that. And then see by the end of 3 or 4 videos how many X's you got on your paper. And allow them to take you to something new and better. Allow the truth of today to take you to a better life. You deserve it. You deserve it. And so do the people in your life that you care about. Thanks.